whoa, what happened? And that's a part of the reason why I wanted to check in with you. You said that you wanted to get to anyway, and I'm just here to hold you accountable to that. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video here on Chats with Michelle. I just want to check in with you today. If you're new around these parts, I genuinely believe this so wholeheartedly that everyone was born on purpose, with purpose, and for purpose. On purpose, meaning that no one is a mistake. We were all placed on this earth on purpose. Like it was intended. God intended for you to be here. With purpose, because I believe that we were all put on this earth with an assignment. Now, for purpose is once you finally get clarity of what that assignment is to go out into the world and do the assignment that God has given you. And something that I'm really passionate about more than anything is I just love accountability. I love systems. I love clarity and all of those things. And I'm just here to hold you accountable to that, right? Like I know we're almost halfway through the year, which my goodness, that's so crazy to me to know that literally if you're watching this, the time that it comes out, we're in May of 2025. And I feel like the year literally just started. So for the fact of the matter that we're already here, it's just like, I want to just give you a moment to pause and kind of get your footing and think to yourself, okay, where am I? Where am I in the assignment? And I want to hold you accountable to that. As you're watching this video, I really want you to, like, literally, if you got to pause the video, pause and say, okay, where am I? Am I still on track? Am I still focused? Am I still doing the thing? Consider this your accountability check-in. Here's the book I'm currently reading, and my goodness, it's so good. I feel like I say that about everything that I'm reading, but as usual, per usual, I want to go ahead and read a snippet of the book that really stood out to me, and I think that it would just be so beneficial to you as well. Splintering of hope. This is when we borrow parts of God's promises and truths, then entrust the execution and outcome of these promises to the care of those around us. We misstep when we figuratively push God to the back seat, allowing his words to become faint and the noise of others to overtake our thoughts. We forget that no person is meant to do what is intended to be done by God alone. For me, those words speak a lot to self-doubt and even like imposter syndrome. How sometimes when you can be in a space or you feel as though, you know, talking about the assignment that the Lord gave you and there's something that you're supposed to do, and you can start off really excited and wanting to go and just running with zeal and you're just super excited about it, and then somewhere along the line self-doubt comes in, or maybe you do become really successful and the thing is working, like, oh my goodness, Lord, it's working, it's happening, and then you get into spaces, you get into rooms, and you feel like, oh, I have to like make these connections. I have to connect to these people. And so much so you can get yourself so unraveled in the thing that God told you to do, that he, like, unintentionally, you began to put God in the back seat. And I believe, like she also mentions in the book, that like you start looking at God through your rearview mirror. So instead of having God right in front of you, or, you know, right beside you on this mission and this thing that you're supposed to be doing, somewhere along the line in the journey, you're looking back at God, and he just becomes like this voice in the back of your head, but not in the sense of like, you know, the Holy Spirit, like you're hearing God. Like, no, it's like this afterthought thing, right? And it's not to say that you shouldn't build connections, because you should, you know, connecting and networking, those things are good, but it becomes a problem when we then feel like we need others to get to the place that the Lord, or to do the thing that the Lord told us to do. You know, I've said this before, and I feel like a lot of people say this as well, but like if the Lord put it inside of you, then he'll like birth it out of you, you know? And although you should make the connections, and the Lord will even put and bring people into your life, at the same time, like she says it here, and I just really love that she said that, we forget that no person is meant to do what it is intended to be done by God alone. So like only God alone can do the thing. And we have to be careful, and myself included, like this is like me, like I feel like I'm speaking to myself in this, is like we have to be careful and not placing our hopes and our desires in other people. Of course, the Lord can use other people, but Him alone will take you through the finish line. And I think in all of this, what can happen if we're not careful is the temptation to want to give up. And actually, speaking of give up, I recently posted a quote on my community tab here on YouTube, and I want to read it here. It says, "You have a choice. You can throw in the towel, or you can use it to wipe the sweat off your face." And I want to encourage you to do the latter, right? Which is to wipe the sweat off your face in those moments of imposter syndrome, or if you can recognize as I'm here and I'm speaking, you can recognize that, wait, like I have been entrusting the promises of God, that execution on the shoulders of other people. I want to encourage you to like pause for a second and say, whoa, let me recalibrate. Let me rearrange this. Let me put the order back where it needs to be. Let me remove God from the back seat and bring Him back to the front seat, the driver's seat anyways, and putting yourself in the passenger seat and allowing the Lord to guide you through all of this. Well, since we're checking in and stuff, I have a very serious question for you. I want to know, have you been keeping your promises to yourself? If you're unfamiliar about what I'm saying or what I'm even asking, I'll give you a brief background on what it is that I'm saying. So basically, a few weeks ago, I made a video and I shared the method that I'd come up with, which is called the KMP method. And basically, it just means keeping my promise. So essentially what it is that there is one thing that you need to do every single day that will help you achieve your end goal. So a lot of times what happens, right, is that we have all of these things that we want to do, and it's so much so it could be the assignment that the Lord gave us, right? And we're really excited and we do a lot and we're unable to actually follow through because there's just so many things that we want to do. And what happens oftentimes as well is that we can work so hard for others and we do all the things, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with working hard for others or being a part of a team, etc. However, we can often leave ourselves on the back burner. So the whole concept of KMPs and keeping your promise is that you have one promise that you have to keep to yourself every single day. Every single day, there's one thing that you need to do. Keep your promise to yourself. And so my question to you, as we're, doing this whole accountability thing, is, have you been doing it? Have you been keeping your promises to yourself? Yes or no? Let me know. In full transparency, as this video is coming out, I struggled this last month in keeping my promises. I did well in following through, but there was a lot of, I want to say procrastination, and just kept moving things over. And next thing I know, 2 to 3 weeks had gone in the month. And I'm like, whoa, what happened? And that's a part of the reason why I wanted to check in with you, because I'm like, well, I know this last month, as I'm like, the champion to keeping your promises to yourself, I also struggled a bit last month. And I wanted to share that because I also wanted to give you the freedom and the safe space to say, hey, you know what, Michelle? Yeah, I kind of didn't do my best last month, or I kind of did slack, or I crushed it. I killed it. I was absolutely off the chain and it was amazing. And that's okay, because with this whole channel, I just want it to be like an open conversation where I can chat with you and I can share the truth. It's not that I have all the answers, but rather I'm also going through the journey with you. But here's the beautiful thing about the KMP method. What's so amazing about it, and what I've found in doing so, because I have at least done it for several months now, is that when you keep your promise to yourself every day, it encourages you to keep on going and following through to yourself more and more each and every other day that comes to follow. So much so that you'll begin to get convicted. Like, that's what happens to me, where I'm like, there could be a day and I'm just like, ugh, I gotta keep my promise. Like, I gotta keep my promise. Like, who wants to break a promise? You know what I mean? Especially to yourself. So it's like the psychological thing where it forces you to follow through. And at the end of the day, too, it's a net positive, because, like, yeah, it's like this conviction, but at the same time, too, it's ultimately like a good thing, because it helps you to get to your end result that you said that you wanted to get to anyways. And with that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video. Listen, if you found this video valuable, please consider sharing it with someone who may also find this video valuable. And while you're at it, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because listen, we've got so much to chat about. Bye.